So we were just talking about Jen Kogan. You can find her on multiple podcasts. Her best-selling book is called When I Die, Take My Panties. And the premise of the story, and she'll still tell it on a number of podcasts, is her mother was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and ovarian cancer is not a fun way to go by any means. Horrible statistics, which she does put at the end of the book along with resources, and that's what drove her to write the book. She wanted to put more awareness around it. And the title came about because she had some very dark title initially, that, and her one of her friends or her publisher said, you know what, nobody's gonna buy that. There's enough self-help books out there. You're a comic. Let's find something more attention grabbing in a good way.
Well,
So
there you go.
yeah, exactly. It definitely is an eye grabber. And she tells the story that when she's going through her mom's belongings with her, I mean, they had some time to prepare, and her mom opens this drawer and she said, Jennifer, and she is a Jewish Midwestern mom. So, Jennifer, I cannot take these to the Goodwill. Nobody's going to take these. They're hanky-panky panties. They're the thongs. They're $20 a piece. They are ridiculously expensive and the most comfortable thing I've ever owned in my life. When I die, take my panties. So that's the opener of one of the special gifts that Natalie has already brought to us. So with that,
well, I don't know if I can, beat that. Jen speaking at a group that I'm involved with, some HR professionals, and so she's going to be closing out the year with the talk. So yeah,
awesome. Live or like face to face or virtual?
That'll be virtual because she is not in my state. I'm in Washington State.
I was gonna say you guys are practically opposite.
Yeah,
Washington.
but I did get to meet Jen at the Dames Fun Friends conference. That was really fun.
So at the last one, so you were here in town.
Yes. Were you at
I had breakfast with her.
Oh shoot.
Well, and she got, that's a whole nother story for another time, but yeah, she got mobbed in the restaurant down there. I think it must have been day one.
Really?
Yeah. So
yeah.
Darn it. We missed an opportunity yet.
Yeah, darn it. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, with that, please take over.
All right. Natalie Fairchild, thank you so much for having me. I have a special place in my heart for Denver. So it sounds like most of you are in Denver. I was there for 13 years after college, and my girls were born there. They're now 22 and 21. And every time I fly into Denver, I've got some very, very, very close friends still in Denver and some family. And every time I fly into Denver, I have to make sure I go to the Rio to get a marg and some queso. Is anybody with me on that? Yay.
Because nobody goes there for the food.
I know. And their queso though, oh my gosh, it's just to die for. Anyway, so that's me. And so yes, love my Denverites, very special place for me. So couple words that I may refer to when I'm talking. One is husband, which refers endearing reference to my ex-husband, who we started the business together. And then another word I use is perkologist, which in my event or in my company, it's Pacific Perks Coffee, we do mobile espresso bar catering. And the perkologists are the ones that are front facing with the customers. They do the events. So I talk a little bit about balance with them and that kind of thing. So just wanted to give you a little background. So today, just talking a little bit about my story, how I went from corporate to being an entrepreneur, why I did that, and also kind of the crash of trying to live a balanced life and the crash of that, and falling flat on my face and having to re-look at it, redefine what that is, redefine what success is to me. and the things that I've done to change that, and kind of how I work today. And love to have you guys. You can chat, you can raise your hand, you can just shout out any comments, questions you have, because I'd love to hear from you guys on, different things you might be challenged with in this area, ideas that have helped you, that kind of thing, because we're all in this together. So kudos to you for being in a male dominated industry, I would probably say. And I've just met so many women, especially in the Dames group. It's a women's group, internationally. They do have chapter in Denver where they have face-to-face meetings. They don't have one in Washington, so I do mostly virtual, but every time I meet someone, it's a connection, it's a aha moment, and they're there to help women reach 6, 7, 8 figures. But it's way more than that. It's supportive, it's real, it's bring yourself. So thedames.co if you're interested in finding out more about that. Megan is amazing, amazing, amazing. So my background, so I was in the corporate world and thought that I wanted to be a mom so bad. So I finally became a mom. And when I had Maddie, I was like, okay, I want to stay home. I did everything I could to stay home. And then I realized that I was an entrepreneur possibly because I started getting my hands in different businesses and creating little things. And I had a little design business. And I realized that I love being a mom, but I also needed the balance of business as well. And that was part of my recipe that I realized at that point. And then a couple years, actually, before we had our kids, Jim was diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis, if anyone's familiar with that. There is a theory that, living in Colorado as a kid, a virus can come out later. It hasn't been proven. But so as time went on with that, things started to change. And it got to the point where the corporate world was kicking his rear end and we needed to do something. And I didn't want to go back to the corporate world. I knew I couldn't send them back. And we decided to move back to the Pacific Northwest where my family is and very supportive. So we, out of crisis, became business owners. So oftentimes people are like, oh, what a risk taker, so courageous. Well, when you have a crisis, it kind of moves you forward to make some big different life decisions. So we took on this business plan, brought it home, and we worked together and it was working really, really well. I always say there's a NAP program. So we had balance and we were growing, but we weren't too crazy, but we were sustaining ourselves. And then as things grew and Jim's MS continued, he began to not be able to do things that had a timeline to them. And so a business coach said, hey, you need to look at this as your business. And when Jim can help, he can. And of course, that was devastating because you're like, no, that's not the way life's supposed to go. I don't know if anyone here has had something where you're like, that's not what was supposed to happen. That was not part of my plan. It's guaranteed something like that will happen. And so it got to the point where I had to take over the business. So once I had an acceptance of that, here I was in this business and I was like, this feels right. I feel like I'm in my element. I'm being the leader that I want this role. So I've elevated myself, right? I'm starting to be the only one that's taking on the ultimate risk of the business and its success and failures. And it feels good, right? So that was very energizing. But then what happened was I was losing myself. And a lot of women, we want to take on promotions. We want to go to that next level, but we're like, how can we do it? I've got a kid on my lap right now and one that's sick, right? And so how do you do that? So I found myself trying to raise my kids with a disabled husband who was declining and declining, and we'd have to change and pivot and decline and change and pivot. And I was running the whole business, which was our family's livelihood. Like this was it. And I just found myself just getting depleted and depleted. And I had no time for things like connection, which is one of my top values. I just felt like I was dog paddling through life, and doing an okay job, but just there was no time left for me. Does anybody feel like that when you're going through life right now? For sure. So then I kind of had an awakening, and I really needed to figure something had to change, or I was going to get really sick or really resentful or both. So I had a business coach and friend, and she said, well, we had this situation where I'd be at the office, and then Jim was going to try and come at 3:30 and relieve me and stay at the office. And I come home and put my mom hat because my girls were in grade school. I wanted to be there. I hated not being there. So it ended up he couldn't do that. It was just really unreliable and it just wasn't working. And a friend said, "What happens from 3:30 to 5 that you can't deal with tomorrow?" And I was like, "Well, that's a good question. Like if a client calls you at 4 o'clock, they're probably not expecting a response, by 5 o'clock." And so I looked at that opportunity and was scared to death of it. But I said, "Okay, I'm going to try this. I'm just going to try this." And so I started leaving the office at 3:30. Of course, there was a, emergency number type of thing set up with the phone system. And I would go home, and the asshole in my head would be talking, saying, you really should be back at the office. You really should be back at the office. And I had to tell him to go away, go away, go away. And it took a good 6 months, I would say. That's the good and the bad news, to really feel comfortable and feel worthy of being home and that time with my kids and not being strapped to the office. And it turns out nothing else happened. Nothing major happened. I mean, a few times I had to maybe go take care of something, but not very often. And from then on, I pretty much end my days at 3:30. Now we all have days that are, different. But I think our society has set up that we are 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, mandated at the desk. And we all have different recipes. Um, I'm a morning person. Like in college, I never was up late studying. I'd rather get up at 4 a.m. and study. And the other people are late night people. Maybe that's where they're most creative. If that's you, take it. Don't pound yourself, your head against the wall, trying to make 8 o'clock meetings or be live and active at 8 o'clock. It just doesn't work. It doesn't make for a happiest you, for sure. So so let's say, I had to relook at this. So I started relooking at it and really realized it was all encompassing in my life. As a woman, we're taught to be selfless. We're taught to help everyone else first, that a lot of other people come first before we do. Lots of society tells us this, our background, sometimes religion can do that. And really, we need to really change that paradigm, because being selfless is literally killing us. And I remember going to a funeral, and they said, "Oh, she was so selfless. She did so much for everyone." And I just think that's so sad. Like people won't be saying that at my funeral for sure, but that's so sad. We don't want to be known as that. We want to be known as women that took care of themselves so that we had the energy to then give back. Not that we're giving everything away first and taking the scraps. Do you guys have felt that mentality within yourself, just consciously, subconsciously? Yeah. So some heads are shaking there. So I realized I need to redefine balance. And really, the whole time I could see the recipe that I needed, but actually I blamed it on MS and a disability. And I hid behind his MS and disability. Was like, I need to work only 4 days a week so I can take care of my family. And yes, that was true, but I needed that, disability or not, I needed that. And so I had got a chance to like really redefine it, because I have to tell you, I hit rock bottom. I was pulled off that pedestal of superwoman and I couldn't do it anymore. And there is a burnout and consequence to that for sure. So I finally accepted what my recipe was and how I define success. But I want to first go back to the 7 human needs every person has. And this is taken from the Good Life Institute, Kate Byers. I don't know if anyone has heard of her. She has stuff on Facebook and Instagram. It's a program for women, and it's usually targeting women that are completely burnt out and they want that next promotion. And for me, I wanted to franchise my business, but I'm like, I don't want to create a monster and be out of balance again. I don't want to do it. I don't want to sacrifice that. So I signed up for the program, and our very first training, this is not what I expected at all, but I was so happy, was the 7 human needs every person has. So let me share my screen, because like you in the recording, I forgot to share my screen. So let's do this. Let's see here. Where did it go? Let me stop sharing here for a second. Share screen, this one. Oh my goodness. Okay. Do you guys see the Zoom on the thing? You do.
You see, okay, I was gonna say it says has started screen sharing, but it's not showing.
It's not showing anything.
Uh-uh.
Of course it isn't. We just did this.
I know it worked right before the meeting.
Yeah, we just did this. Oh, here we go. Okay, can you
There
see
it
that?
is. Got it.
All right, good. Okay, so there we are. So here's the 7 human needs every person has. So health, we need our health, and we need to be able to walk and function. Security, whether that means your house, financially. Esteem this is an area that we all need to work on all the time. But esteem is, how you feel about yourself and your self-worth. And autonomy, the ability to make decisions and, you know, decide for yourself, different things you want in life. Connection, like I mentioned, that one is a huge one for me. So connecting with the community, friends, family, girlfriends, things like that. And purpose, having a purpose. And then leisure, like, what do you like to do for fun? What do you love to do, on your off time? What makes you full of joy? So taking a look at this list, we all need these, and we need to be filling these buckets throughout our weeks and days, and to be able to have flow and to be able to feel taken care of. And so, but usually there's 2 to 3 of them that are very high on your list. And I don't know if you can take a minute and just look at this list, and I'll share mine with you. But I'd love to get a sense from anybody that maybe one that pops out, and like, no matter what, if I don't have time or money or whatever, like, this one is so important to me. I take the time to make sure I'm filling this a bucket. So take a minute to look at that list, and if anybody wants to pop into chat and and let us know if there's one. Purpose and connection, Leah, awesome. So yes, that's great. Connection and purpose. Oh, we have a little theme. Purpose and connection. Health, hands down for me. Rhonda, I so want health to be on the top of my list. Oh, it's a struggle. Anybody struggle with health? Health and connection. Awesome. So knowing that what your top 2 or 3 are, those are the ones that you need to get in on a daily basis to feel connected or to feel flowing through your life. So all of these need to be filled in, but the ones that are highlighted for you are the ones that you need to make sure are part of your life day to day. So for me, connection is huge. So that can be just sending a text to my niece saying, I'm thinking about you. Or have you guys heard of Sugar Wish? It's out of Denver. Sugarwish.com. So fun, you guys. You heard about it through another dame, got it. You can send a little gift to them with a note and they get it via email. And then they can choose like 2 different treats or snacks or cookies. You can do like 2, 3, 4. And then they say your sugar wish is on the way. And then they send you the package with the note that you've sent the person. And the packaging is fabulous. And it starts at $25. It's super fun. So another great connection tip, I'm kind of going on with some tips right now, love to see what you guys have, is a app called Ink. I think it's either Wink or Ink. Let me see. It's called Ink. Yeah, it's looks like that. And you can take pictures from your phone and create a postcard for $2, put their email on it. You can do a signature, you can write your own saying, and they will send it postage and everything. So easy, so cheap, because how many of us print out our photos these days? Not very many. So what I love to do when I go, thank you, Leah, when I go to visit somebody or go to college to visit my girls on mom's weekend, or I'm thinking about a friend, I'll pull up a picture of us and I'll send it to them. And then it ends up on the refrigerator and they get the picture of the 2 of us. So that's a really fun connection. When I go to the grocery store every week, I used to pick out a card for somebody, whether it was a happy birthday or just because type of thing, and write them a note. If you guys are all about connection, you're probably not the ones that write like love Sarah. You actually write something that means something to them. So yeah, so just make sure those are some connection. Autonomy is huge for me and leisure is huge for me. So I need to plan fun. I need to have something on the horizon, travel, a trip, whatever it is, it gets me excited. I don't care if I'm driving down a back road that I've never been on, that can also excite me. So think about different things that you can do to fill these buckets. And a really good exercise is, what are you really good at? So Rhonda's really good at health. She's got that dialed in. And, for me, I need to go on the health. I did work out this morning. Yay. But I need to, work on that. What kind of strategies can I put together to make that happen on a regular basis? Security, financial types of things, esteem. We always need to be working on our esteem. Little tip on the esteem part of it. I love great ideas, so I love to share them. But journaling through the Good Life Institute was really, really cool to learn a new way. Besides, 2 to 5 things that you're grateful for, writing down what characteristics you used to get through a situation or to lead in a situation. So for example, and basically what that's doing is it's creating neural pathways, just new and different and better neural pathways. So it could be like, I used my leadership to guide my team through annual planning, and it was really successful. So it's reminding yourself of the great things that you're doing. Autonomy, if you need to be able to make your own decisions. If a girlfriend says, let's go to dinner, where should we go? Hype up and tell her where you want to go. And if it was me in Denver, it'd be the Rio. Connection, we talked about purpose. Everyone really needs to have a purpose, something that you just are tied to, whether that's in your work or not. Sometimes it isn't your work, but you need to make sure you have something else, if it's not in your work, in your home life, personal life, that has purpose. So those are the 7 human needs. And so hopefully that's a little bit helpful. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Technical difficulties. What's going on? Oh, here we go. I just need to click, not the arrow. Okay, perfect. So, and when you know your values and your, what you value the most out of that, those 7 things, or you have certain values that are just very important to you. It might be like family at this stage of the game with small children. It may be like connection with women, getting on trips, your career, whatever it is. When you know what your values are and take a moment to do that, then it's easy to make decisions around those values. It's easy to say, like Megan, politely decline speaking, depending on schedule or whatever it was, or the level she's at, or for whatever reason, just knowing it makes those hard decisions sometimes easy because you know what your values are. And so, how I define success. So, for me, and anybody have any questions right now at all? Okay. So, for me, having it all and having success, I've been running the business for 16 years. We just became a franchise. So we are hoping to sign on the dotted line, awarding 2 territories to our first franchisee this week, actually. So that's been something in the making for a while. But how I define success is not working 60, 50, and a lot of times 40 hours a week. And I still, when I say that, I've got that little asshole in my head going, don't say that. That's horrible. But the truth is, what my recipe is my recipe is working very little, if not at all, on Fridays. It is when I'm intentionally working. One of my employees, she says, you need to slow down because you're going so fast, because I make my errors all the time, little errors. We call them Natalie isms. But yeah, she says that I'm so fast, which cracks me up because I feel like I'm 2 different people. And I'd love to know if any of you feel like this, but I feel like half of me is go, 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 type A, get this shit done. And then I feel like the other half of me is zen, and I need downtime and I need to relax. And I pushed that away for years and years. I was pissed at the person that needed to relax. And I was, giving a badge of honor like society does to the person who was go, 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 go and getting stuff done. But I finally realized that I have to respect both sides of that, because I need that downtime to be able to have that go, go, go time for sure. So for me, that looks like little to no work on Fridays. I've starting my Mondays a little bit slower. It means having appointments, virtual meetings, things like that in the afternoons, because my time to get stuff done is in the morning. That's when I'm the best. So I leave my mornings open as much as possible to get that important work done. For me, success is, obviously, I want to make a good income. I want to have a good retirement. I want to have money to travel, money to save, money to pay the bills. But I'm not looking to be a multimillionaire or anything like that. Success for me is enjoying the journey as I go along. Now, that might not be the case for you, and that's okay. It's not right or wrong. It's just what your recipe is. And your recipe can change over time too. If you define it in your 30s, doesn't necessarily mean at 45, it'll be the same for you. For me, being able to take a moment, go off on a trip at a moment's notice, which I have done to my team before, To be there when my family needs me, if there's something I want to be at, whether it's, school stuff when they were in school, visiting them in college, and just to be grounded the majority of the time. That's really my goal, is to not ride the emotional waves. I used to do that a lot, and I'm still learning about that and getting a lot more practice on it. But that's definitely something that I have been striving for, because I find I have this big push and I use all this emotional energy, or let other people drain me as well, right? And then I crash. And I kind of, instead of this, I kind of want to be just more even kill that way. Um, so this is kind of what my recipe looks like, but I'd love for you to share if anybody wants to chat, or talk a little bit about your recipe. I'd love to hear, like, what do you know about yourself for sure? What do you know for sure that you need? For Rhonda, it might be, I've got to exercise, every day. Like, that's part of my recipe. Or it might be, I'm a morning person, or I know I need to work at night. Sleep. Oh, so important. I hope you guys are all good sleepers. Um, I tend to go to bed at like 9 o'clock at night. And with this time change, I feel like it's sundowners. Like, I like at the end, like at 3:30 or 4, I'm just like, woo, my energy goes down for sure. Workout in community. So working, just getting involved in the community. Is that what we mean by that one?
No, I've got a group of people that I've been working out with for
Oh,
over 10 years. So
oh,
either
nice.
strength training or spin classes.
Nice. And how often do you do that?
Depends on the week.
Right.
I try for a minimum of 2, maximum of 5.
Yeah. Like, I know if you can get 2 in and strive for that third, that's great. Organization checklist. Absolutely. Absolutely. Solitude. Yes. We all need time alone. We all need it for sure. Time in the morning to journal and read before the day starts. Oh, that sounds like a great morning. Meditation, planning the day. That's great. Those are all great things. So taking time to just realize, what is your favorite day look like? What is your favorite morning look like? And you can ask yourself, not on a work day, like on a Saturday, I have it all to myself, and I could do anything I want with no barriers. What is that? And that will help you come up with those things that just fill you up with joy. And you're just like, those moments in life when you're like, oh, life is so good, where you can stop and see the fall leaves, and just get a lot of joy from that. So those are all great things. Thanks you guys so much for bike ride with Kat. Nice. Nice. Very fun. So lots of adventure, lots of lone time, lots of planning and organization. We always feel a little bit more secure when we're planning and have organization. So, perfect. So if there's nothing else that I want to leave you with, the important thing is, there's 3 things that are super important to me. All right, I have to close the chat. There we go. So one is, I'm having technical difficulties. Okay, we'll start with this one first. Honoring your recipe. So knowing your recipe, we've talked a lot about that. And it took me years to accept and honor my recipe. So if you're in your head saying, I should be like this, I shouldn't be like this, stop yourself and accept who you are as a person and what needs you have, and you will change your life for sure. So doing that for sure. And then it takes practice. So practice makes perfect. So just like the story of when I took that 3:30 and would go home to be a mom, it took a lot of practice for me. And sometimes the things worth doing don't feel good. They feel really uncomfortable and unsettling. But I really challenge you to stay with that unsettling, challenging feeling when you know you're doing something that's good for you, and have great friends that can back you up on that. And then truly overall, just knowing that you can be successful, you can go to the next step and still have a balanced life. There is ways to do that. You, as a woman, I think we have so many responsibilities, and at the end of the day, we are it. It's kind of like a house cleaner. If you have a house cleaner, you still have to clean up for the house cleaner, right? Everybody clean up. So even if you have like a wonderful supportive spouse at home cheering you on, I just got to say, you're still sometimes the mom. And if you aren't a mom and don't have kids, there's a paradigm there shift that needs to happen, where people think you're just available at all times a day and can take on the world and take on the projects. And so really, taking a look at that too, and knowing it's okay to set those friendly fences, aka boundaries, and make decisions for yourself instead of everyone else. And then you'll see a little bit more flow through life, and you'll be able to be able to have space for more things in your life that you want to take on. So a little bit about what I've done with the company besides me leaving at 3:30. We've created a culture of balance and empathy for people's lives and situations, and we're not all 100% all of the time. So at my office, you will not see anybody there past 3:30. Our role is we've got to get stuff done, we've got to move it forward, but we don't have to mandate ourselves at a desk. I've asked all my ops team people, I can't believe they had this, but I'd love to know if anybody of you have this. Um, no shame at all, just a great baby step. A lot of them had their email notifications coming to their phones. So, things come in all the time, even on the weekend. You're getting marketing ones, you're getting maybe client requests, maybe they're working on the weekend, and it pops up and it stops you from enjoying your time and gets your mind in a different place. And then you think you have to go deal with it, and da 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 da. It goes on and on. Does anybody have those email notifications on your phone? Good job. If you do, I would say take this weekend and turn them off, and just make a task for yourself to turn them back on if you feel like it wasn't okay. Just test it. Do a little test. Um,
Well, and as a baby step into that, if you shut the notifications off, you can still go into your email at allotted times and grind through them and then go back out.
You can. Thank you. That's a great baby step for sure. But give yourself a break. You deserve it. You don't need a disability for it. You don't need to be a certain sex to have this. Everyone gets this. Everyone gets this and deserves it. So the percologists that do the events, and so to give you kind of an idea, so you guys might have like a luncheon or convention or employee appreciation or something going on. We charge a flat fee. We roll into the company. We set up shop. We serve for starting at 2 hours, can go longer. And every time people see our cart, they're getting something for free. Mostly the espresso bar is one of our biggest things. So our percologists are there to create an experience. That's their whole point. And they are W-2 employees. So they receive a W-2 at the end of the year. They're not contractors. However, we've designed it where they put their availability into our scheduling system, and then we assign events to them based on their availability and seniority. And so what happens is we get these incredible people. Now there's a couple men on our team, 3 men now, but that have been in the working world, and maybe their parents and maybe their kids are getting a little bit older, and they want to have maybe a little bit of purpose and have some money. Maybe it's going to different things, and they love it because they can block themselves out for the field trips, helping in the classroom, going on a trip, whatever. They don't have to ask for permission, but they can still make money, bring money in, have purpose, be out in the community. It checks a lot of those human needs boxes for sure. And so that is a great one for with our business. We just felt like it's just so, we've just created this great culture. People are just supportive of each other. They stay for a very long time with us, that kind of thing. And so we're all about, let's get the job done, not mandate by time. So those are some things that we have done. And any questions at all about that, or how you might be able to do that?
What tool do you use, Natalie? Do you use Calendly for your booking appointments?
Yes, I do. I use the free version. It's so nice. Everyone needs for your clients and for your sanity. Does everyone use like a scheduling like type of program where instead of going back and forth, like, hey, are you available on Tuesday? No, I'm not available on Tuesday. How about Wednesday? That kind of thing where you can just set up times. Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay. So this is a must for you. It will save time, headache. It'll save your members and clients time and you time. And you can set it up, which I just started using it, and then I pick times each time. Well, now I've got it set up where I just have blocks of time in the afternoon, like I told you. And I've got it set up as, here's a let's connect virtually for 30 minutes. Let's connect, meet for coffee, meet for lunch. Let's have a phone chat. And so I just pick that one, and there's automatic link, and then it goes to my schedule, and then they can pick the times. So the one thing that I'm learning is if I'm going to be out or on a trip or with business or whatever, I need to make sure, conference, I need to make sure to go into Calendly and block that day out so no one books. But it's great. It saves me so much time. It's on both of your calendars right there, and then it's just easy peasy. Yeah.
And Leah, I saw that you put that in about Outlook. If you already did it like an SOP on that, didn't you? For me, that I haven't gone through yet. Because I was gonna say, if you want to, we can do that as part of the follow-up notes to people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I do an SOP for you?
Yeah,
I know we talked about it.
I know. You sent me. It's in my personal inbox, which is why I haven't addressed it yet. So I'm not 100% sure if you actually sent the documentation or a link to a cheat. I'll take that.
And those are the things
I'll look on my end too.
Okay.
that take a little bit of time to set up, right? And we're kind of like, that's why we push it back. But we need to take the time to set it up because it will save us so much time in the long run. So slick.
I wanted to do Calendly because the majority of my time I do use my work email for almost everything. And because we're such a large corporation, it wouldn't let me download Calendly without getting IT approval and stuff. So I just am not fighting that. I need to find it.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes you get down the chain and you're like, all right, I'm out. I gotta attack this one later. Yeah, perfect. Oh, look it. She has a YouTube video you can watch.
Okay, I think that's what you sent me, Leanne.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yes.
Yeah,
And using
easy.
technology to make our lives easier and more efficient is the way to go. I love technology until I don't, because we all know it can cause havoc or not work exceptionally well the way we want it to work. But all those little things, taking time to kind of get things organized. Okay, so check the box thing. I know people like to have checklists, some people said. So I'm gonna make a little drawing here. So this is one of my favorite things to do. So this is how I keep track of my, okay, so if you have a task, right, I put a box, that's not a perfect box there. Okay. So if it's in process, like if I've called someone or emailed something and got them going on what we need to accomplish there, then I put a diagonal through the box. And then I can see that it's in process, but it's not completed. And then when it's completed, then I just make the check mark. That's been a life-changing one for me too. Oh, here's another life changer. Does anybody have a remarkable pad?
No, Jen brought that to breakfast, and I need to look into that too.
Life changer. Mine's in the car packed ready for my annual planning, but it's very thin tablet. It's very light. It's not as heavy as the iPad. I had the iPad with the keyboard and it was so heavy. Anyway, so I love to write notes. That's how I learn. So you have different folders in there. So I had a notebook before the Remarkable for every board I was on, every big project I was on. I take notes, 3-hole punch them, put them in the notebook. Oh, anyway, so with the Remarkable, I create folders for each of those boards or whatever projects I'm working on. Inside that folder, you just create a new sheet, and there's different templates you can use. There's a one for a to-do list for you. There's all kinds of ones. And then I get to write my notes. So I'm learning, I'm remembering because I'm writing my notes in your own handwriting. You can upload those into your computer and store them there. You can email those notes to somebody because sometimes I'll take notes for something and I'll need to share it with somebody. So I'll just add there, as long as you have Wi-Fi, you can email them right from your tablet, and it will take your handwriting to text if you want it. And so I haven't even begun to take in all of the yumminess of this tablet, but it's changed my life so far. So when I was at a conference, different conferences, right? Where do we put our notes? We grab some notebook, and then what do we do with it? And which notebook was it? I just create a folder, Fun Friends, Dames, and every speaker is in there, and all my notes are in there, and it's fabulous. And with the leather cover and the upgraded pen, I think it was under $600. So Merry Christmas to you guys. Anybody have a remarkable? It's a life changer for sure. I saw many women at the Good Life Institute retreat have them, and I was like, okay.
Do they have different sizes too, or is it just one size?
I think it's one size. Danielle has one. Do you love it?
I do. I use it for everything, and I have folders for everything, and everything gets stored to the cloud, and I can find everything, and you can tag things and everything as well.
Yeah, you can search things too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you can be like ThriveCon, like where was that folder for, the conference ThriveCon? Oh, there it is. It pops up. I still need to figure out how to upload. I haven't done that yet. So, lots of technology, but progress, not perfection, right, guys? Like just take baby steps, and it can make a difference in your life. So
I'm just thinking how much time that would have saved me this week. Okay.
yeah, especially for you. Yeah. All those different meetings you have, and it's all right there, and you can come back to them. It's not in a 3-ring binder at your office when you're in Houston. So yes, Rhonda,
Yep.
I know I had 10 different notebooks. Yes, you have to get one for yourself. Ask your boss, or if you own your own business.
There you go. Yeah, you and Jen need to get a referral bonus going with them.
That's what someone was saying at the last conference, because people kept asking me about it, and they're like, they just stopped. They're like, why don't you just stand up and tell everybody about it?
Save yourself a dozen conversations. Do it right now.
I know, I should just get a video. Just do a Loom video, and every time somebody asks me about it, just go,
Yep.
there you go. There you go.
Awesome.
Anyway, but yeah. Any other questions, thoughts, ideas, any aha moments, things you're going to take away to try and get a little bit more balance in your life. And there's Gunner.
All right. I want to hear a little bit more about your actual business and what the experience looks like, what kind of events you do.
Yeah. So we do a lot of corporate events, so employee appreciation events. We do a lot of marketing events, so work with a lot of salespeople that want to bring our service to their clients to say thank you. We do a lot of manufacturing. We do a lot of work with high-end, not even high-end, but apartment complexes. I don't know if it's like that in Denver. I think it is, but they're popping up everywhere. And they have a budget item to keep, do fun things for the residents. So we do a lot of that. I think I said manufacturing, the medical industry, essential workers, that kind of thing. So what it looks like is our cart is about 4 feet wide, 20 inches deep. It's all self-contained. We load it up and we drive to the location where we're going. So as a parkologist, sometimes you're going to a different place, every day. And so a lot of people like that. Sometimes they're like, okay, I just need to find where I'm going. And then we set up, and then I should stop sharing. So did everyone see this? If you wanted to scan it, feel free to scan it. Love to have a 30-minute chat with you on how to bring more balance to your life, if that's something you're interested in. It's not my business per se. It's just, hey, let's chat type of thing. So let me just do that. Okay. So what we do is we charge a flat rate. So for 2 hours, it's $400 plus gratuity. And we make a custom sign. So whether we're appreciating employees or thanking a client, we do that for the client. And we're there to create an experience. So we're serving everything for free. And then after our time that we're serving, then we load up, clean up, roll on out. And yeah, that's it. Super simple. So I'm all about
all coffee products, or
so we have
throw some menu items out there, girl. Come on.
Yeah. So we have I know there's so many. You start, but espresso bar is what we started with, and it's our biggest seller. We have 10 other services, 5 food. So we do made to order grilled cheese, quesadilla bar, crepe, waffle, omelet. So make it right there for them. So they fill out a food order form. So it's all about the experience. And then we do ice cream sundaes. So we're scooping a lot in August and July. And then we do full Italian soda bar, full smoothie bar. We've got some fun upgrades that can be added. Gourmet hot cocoa bar. So hot cocoa on steroids, which we do, seasonally, of course. And so, yeah, so lots of different services. So we've grown, year after year, minus 2020. And it's been a great experience to be able to be successful, to be able to mentor my team, and be able to provide an opportunity where people get to be in a supportive environment and they get to have balance in their life. So that's what I love, for sure.
You said you got your first franchisee. Where are they?
Yeah, so they're in Phoenix, of all places.
Oh.
So, yep. So Elaine, I'm super excited about bringing her on as part of the family. So she's taking on 2 territories in the East Valley, and then Denver, there's territories there that are open. We're looking to go to Idaho. We've got one in Oregon. We are in the state of Washington. If you guys know a lot about laws and stuff, Washington, California are the hardest. So we're going to California first, and then we're going to be heading up to Washington, because Washington follows everything that California does. But yeah, in Nevada, we're open, Arizona, Colorado, Idaho, and Oregon. Right now, we're looking to expand. So
nice. And you've already got your whole pitch deck and everything ready for your franchisees?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we worked with a great consulting company that I highly recommend, that really helped us make all the hard decisions and all that good stuff. So yeah, we've got all that, our Discovery Day slideshow presentation. Yeah. Thank you, Jamie. So we're so excited. And again, it took a lot for me to want to make this step because I didn't want to lose the balance. But what I have learned is I'm not the most intelligent person on this world, but what I'm good at is surrounding myself with the right people that complement what I lack in. And that is been a very good tool for me to do, and has made my life so much easier, for sure. So, and I probably hired more support than I needed, which some people would maybe say, but for me, it was worth it. And it really, again, gives me more flexibility and less burnout. So, yeah. So that's us.
Excellent.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anybody, any final questions from anyone? All right. I will ask, are any of you thinking about going entrepreneurial at some point? Maybe not today. I mean, Kaylee, you're halfway there already, I would say, if not more than half. All right.
Oh, the Remarkable is the tool. What is the name of the electronic notes tool you mentioned? So it's little r, little e, big M, markable, like the word remarkable, but it's little r and e, big M.
Stephanie Shivar needs one if she doesn't already have one. She did the I Am Remarkable training for us. Have you met Stephanie? She's one of the dames.
I don't know that I have. I wonder if she was at the Fun Friends.
She was not. She was in Hawaii, I believe. I will introduce you to Stephanie.
Okay. Thanks, Danielle. I should have just typed it in there. Yeah. Promo code. No, just kidding. I really need to, talk to them. No, I've got way too many things going on. Always love to share good tools and advice. So yeah, Black Friday for sure.
Yeah.
Sure. It is a life changer. Who loves life-changing things? I do. It's a life changer for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, if anybody wants to connect with me, please do. I'd be happy to just chat about entrepreneurship, being a woman in business, how to get more balance in your life, what baby steps you might need advice on, anything like that. So I'm here.
Excellent. And please send me the deck and I will,
Okay.
Whether you want it PDF, PowerPoint, whatever, I can send it out to not only everyone on the call, but a wider audience if you would like.
Sure, that would be great. And then that QR code to my calendar is there too. So
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Thanks, you guys.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Natalie. This was fantastic. And I'm so sorry I missed you at the Fun Friends, but definitely let us know if you come back. When Lisa Sakai, do you know Lisa from the Dames?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Lisa actually chose to come do a face-to-face presentation. And the timing ended up being awful because it was right after the Nuggets won the championship, and we were supposed to have our face-to-face event was on the corner of the parade route. So we ended up night before pivoting to a different location and all that, but we still had a fantastic time, and it cleared out early enough that we were able to have a face-to-face happy hour that afternoon. And yeah, so we're always down for something like that if you come in.
Perfect. I'll meet you guys at the Rio. Yeah, no, for sure. I'm in Denver a lot, and we hope to be doing a franchise trade show in Denver too next year. So
Awesome.
Yeah. So we're around.
Well, we would love to meet you face to face. We're a very social group, as you might imagine.
Yeah, love that. It's all about
especially if you're in town on the 30th, you just pop over to the holiday party. Just
I was
come
just
drink with
gonna
us.
just gonna say November 30th is, I know it's coming up quick, but we do have our Wooga holiday party, and thank you for the reminder, Leah. I usually open with upcoming events, and I did not do that today.
I'm
And
not there then, but
Hmm.
maybe next time. And did you guys know that oxytocin, that's the good hormone, I believe, that when women are together in community, your oxytocin levels go up.
oh yeah,
So have fun on the
Yeah.
30th.
well, yeah, it was hilarious too, because I got to be Michelle McGlade's +1 at the Fun Prince 2021, was it already? Oh my gosh. And it was funny because she's such a huge empath that at the end of the night, she just looked at me and she's like, "Can we tap out? I'm hearing everything right now." and she actually had to get out of the room after that much energy, which
Yeah, there is a lot of
I've never realized that. I think I have that same problem because I talk about being an energy succubus, because I pull from you guys on these things and it gets me going for the next day. But there is a certain point where I'm like, okay, I need to
Good.
stop.
And that's part of knowing your recipe, because we
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, I don't want to be like that. I want to go out and party till midnight, and it's like, no, this
Yeah.
is me. This is what I need. I'm going to be miserable and resentful and pissed off at myself if I go that route. I need to just do what is good for me. And just honoring that is just half the battle. It really is.
It is. It's huge. And setting those boundaries, the time chunks, because I shared that idea with Jamie not long ago, and I'm gonna see her tonight, so I'll find out if she's implemented it yet or not. But
Good. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. So, yeah, we really need to be protective of what we need as people because then we can only be better for our families and for work and our clients and everything. It's like the airlines had it right the whole time. Put your mask on first before helping others, right? I mean, it's the basics and there's a reason for that. Because in order to help other people, you need to breathe. So
100%. Oh, and one last announcement for those of you who know Ms. Manya Miller. We have a new Shiro this week. So Galena Esther was, let's see, was it was it Tuesday?
14th.
I'm sorry?
The 14th.
Oh, okay, so that was
Yeah, Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay. Because it was so funny because she sent me a text about when her water broke, but she didn't actually say when she was
40.
born.
I think 40 hours later or something.
Yeah, she said it was a pretty rough 2 days. So sounds like your experience was a little better recently, Michelle.
Yes, better than hers based on the information she has sent. So
my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's so much. We'll send her a sugar wish.
I already have another gift I gotta drop off, but I do like the sugar wish idea. I need to share that with my sister-in-law because she went freaking overboard, and which I love but also hate because there's only 2 of us in the house now. She sent a dozen crumble cookies after Mark's surgery. I'm like, we couldn't, I mean, we could take down like half of one at a time each. And
freezer.
yeah, we
that
should
reason.
And hide them.
We pushed through. We're down to 1.
Yeah, that's a great gift too. The crumble 4-pack, and you can put a little personalized note and just have it delivered.
4 would have been very reasonable. A dozen was insane.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Maybe she just wants you to get fat.
Might be a little bit of that.
Oh.
Hello, Miller. Hi, buddy.
He's taking our picture.
He has a race car.
Oh, race car. Not a Camry. Kind of look like that.
Even better. Yeah. All right. Well, any parting comments, anyone? Final questions? Other than a half naked Miller? I'm assuming it's only half. We've only seen the top part, so.
Yeah, we have an undies rule in the house.
For everyone, I hope.
That's correct.
That's correct. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to.
No, thank you. And yeah, I may have to change up the gift giving procedure. We've got our standard, but I'm loving the new suggestions.
Yeah, whatever makes life easier. And we love getting packages in the mail and we get to choose it. It's even better. And it's like, oh, what is this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, in the
I was so
postcard,
excited when I got it. I got it from another dame. And I was
yeah,
just, this is fantastic.
yeah. Well, in the postcard concept too, I love that.
And you can send gift cards through that too, and little gifts on that app
Okay.
too. Yeah.
Excellent.
So if the baby, if there's a new photo on Facebook, for the,
Yeah.
make a card out of it. That'll be their first printed photo.
Oh, God. Okay. I'm gonna have to think through this. I'm gonna have a couple bolt-ons to my already gift because and Michelle, you'll appreciate this. The blanket that you got, that is now my signature, and I've got two people who don't know what they're having it, and they're getting Wonder Woman anyway.
Oh yeah, Miller
I
tried
mean-
to steal it immediately. So
I think did he try and use it for cape or something or
yeah, he thought it was for him at first.
yeah. I don't know. He can they can share. I mean, your rules.
They
So
shared
we got-
everything.
There's this new new to me anyway, fantastic little baby blanket on Amazon that has Wonder Woman, but it's the old school Wonder Woman and it has words like, brave and smart and bold and it's incredible.
Thank you,
So,
Kelsey.
yeah.
Awesome.
All right, then. Well, thank you very much. And I'm all re-energized to go do my day job now. So bless you all for that too.
Awesome. Take a lunch.
Oh, I'm about to. I need some chewing calories.
Perfect. All right. Take care, you guys.
All right.
All right.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
all. Thanks so much, Nat.
Bye-bye.
Bye.